Hello the channel, hello the Play MFL channel, the Metaverse Football League. Thanks again everyone for watching. It's been a while since I've posted anything based on MFL, so I'm sorry if it's been a bit of a lapse in terms of that. Thought I would just do a quick update video, how things are going for the season, what the plans are, what's been happening. We've had a big update obviously for us up on the screen. It's season 4 economy update, which is up on the screen. Thanks very much, Banner, for swiping that across. I'll be away in a minute. Have a wee look at that in a minute as well, just in terms of ongoing plans. It's been a bit of a learning curve of a season. Obviously, the amount of teams has gone up now. So we've got Moretti, which was initially supposed to be like a kind of fun team, and then what happens is you get up to the point where you're like third in the league and you're like, I'm not playing that guy, like I'm not developing him. I want to win. Celtic, who are doing pretty well, we'll come back and we'll have a look at the league tables and how we've done. Dublin, who are in a higher division, and then St Stephen's Vienna, who are up in bronze, which is quite tough to be honest, but still doing okay. So let's have a look first at back at what's been happening. And then we can discuss the economy update and the general plans. So first and foremost, Bira Moretti. It's always designed as a fun team. I'm murder. Like I'm just want to be competitive and stuff. Like that's my overall issue. Although now got to the point where they are down to 5th in the league. So still with a realistic chance of getting the 3rd. Although Hoodwinks Diago, I don't know what. So that's usually a butcher there. Named Diago are up in 3rd. I've had to rotate a wee bit recently as well, just after playing the cup games, etc. You'll see here, did get to the later stages of the Rivals Cup and lost, but there we go. This squad itself, quite a lot of sort of younger players, etc. in here. Does it show you under attributes? So a couple of older guys, but see, you've got 17, 18, 19-year-olds and everything in here. So quite a lot of younger guys. More aimed at sort of development, having fun, that type of thing. In terms of plans, I think what I'm going to do is basically add in our ice license and play like a Celtic youth side. We'll have a look at the overall agency in a minute. Some of the guys I picked up, maybe why I picked them up. But that might be the plan. Did get some MFL for getting to the later stages of the cup. We've got some decent fixtures coming up. The guys are well rested now, but it's going to be quite difficult to get up. If we do get into the playoffs, I'll be quite pleased because, at the end of the day, it's more games. Quite good for progression side of things as well. Celtic Glasgow, my favourite team in the whole universe. Did go out in the cup, so that was a shame. Quite close as well though, only really sort of lost out by a point, so pretty competitive. But going quite well in the league, so 37 points, but got a game in hand in Extreme. We do have a game coming up against Extreme at some point, so reasonable sort of schedule just now, and then Extreme are the second last game this season, so might be one of those where maybe a draw will do. It's a Stone League, so it's the second league up. But relatively competitive, I would say. I mean, a lot of these teams in here are owned by like big agency owners, etc. as well. Squad wise, and I'll come back to like player progression and everything once we're through that stuff. Again, do have like quite a lot of youngish sort of players in here. Actually moved Oli up there, just because I need sort of centre mid in the mid-season window, etc. Some good players, a lot of sort of young guys. Managed to rotate them quite well now, so hopefully quite fresh for the end of the season. Dublin are cursed. I mean, Dublin have just been on the absolute sauce. I don't mean football sauce in terms of playing good football. I mean, they've just been on the actual sauce. They've been on the Guinness. 2-6-0 wins. The sort of running joke on X was, well, every time there's like a goal goes in, you've got to have a pint. Then got beat by a team that's just like, absolutely nowhere in the league, like a way down the bottom. Well, 9th, so pretty like average like ice league type goalkeeper and like all sorts of nonsense. So I mean, some of the results have been crazy. Funnily enough, Dublin actually got through in the cup, so there we go. But I mean, still in contention to get into a playoff place, but as the highest rated team in this league, to be 14 points behind 1, 3, 4, 5 is pretty crap. So there we go. What's likely going to happen is that, it could be a possibility that Celtic go up and Dublin don't. I hope Dublin do go up, but if they don't, then it'll be a sort of role reversal. Dublin and Moretti are going to become the kind of fun teams, which will turn into 2 games in being competitive and want to win. So Moretti will probably have to be the absolute fun team. Might even buy some older guys for that as well, you never know. And for the Celtic sort of youth team will come in at ice and just be a pure development team. They'll just aim at maybe even having a smaller squad so that rotation just has to happen and everybody actually gets games. St Stephen's, MFC or Vienna are up in the big league in bronze. Really very unlucky in the cup. You see this last game, 1-4-2 against Mercedes. Basically what had to happen in that game was I had to win that game, and the team who were beside me had to basically win as well. If they'd have drawn or if they get beat, then it'd have been through, and they did win. So that was a shame because they were playing top. So there we go, but a bit more pleased with this. Only 4 points behind, 1 game in hand as well. Schedule-wise, it's not too terrible. I've already played Lisbon United. I've still got FC Soccer Club to play, so some of these guys get an advantage because they've played this team twice and they're minus 64 in goal difference. They haven't won a single game of FITBA in this league. So yeah, that's I think playing last game of the season. So let me see. I'll need to double check that. That's just from memory. Last game of the season, so it'll be a kind of all-out attack in that one, might be needing goal difference, etc. Squad-wise, it's really like an excellent squad. There's no two ways about it. We've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 guys who are just hitting on being legendary players, which is just like obviously incredible. Attributes-wise, age-wise, we still have some younger players. My oldest player is 24. We do have 17-year-old Miranda Oliva, who's my star boy, left back, just an insane left back on all his sets, 92 passing. So I'm hoping he's my very first legendary card as well. So that's the general sort of overall plan. I want to have a quick look at the gallery, how things have been going, or the gallery, it's not a gallery, it's called agency in this. I'm thinking about other sites. But a quick look at the agency, and then we'll go on to the update, and then we can finish off from there. If anybody's watching this and they do want to sign up, I would highly recommend it. We'll come back to talking about the overall economy stuff, but it's a really enjoyable game. You get in, I come in with a budget of $100. So far I've spent about like $4,000 or something. like honestly, like that is the longest $100 has ever like stretched to in my life. But I bought like obviously quite a few starter packs clubs, just like $80 I think for the club. So it's a bit like, $79.99 is a bit like paying your license to play the game, and then it's a one-off fee. You've got your club license and then you've got to pay for the players and everything. We'll come back to the economy update. I want to have a look at my HQ in terms of players, some of the stuff I've sort of done there. So yeah, this is overall agency. Warner has now actually moved on, so I don't know why he's still recorded on there. That must be a bit of a mistake. He's moved on to Bob Flynn, who's bottom. You'll see I've got quite a few 84 base players, which are one-off legendary, so that's pretty good. Quite a few guys stacking up in the 83s here as well. This guy's worth a mention, Kirk Bolzer. His progression this season's been insane, so he's had a bit of a growth spurt. Bottom in is like a 76, I think, so 76, 77. He's been really good. The agency's looking pretty strong overall. Try to make sure I keep the age profile down. A lot of the guys are 24 and under, which is quite good. If anybody's kind of new to this, the season lasts about 3 or 4 weeks, then there's a 1 or 2 week break with the transfer window, sorting out your clubs and everything. So a season, a player ages every kind of 5 or 6 weeks. So it's not like real life where you have to like buy a guy at 17, wait like 15 years to see how they do or whatever. But quite a strong overall agency, obviously. On the other end of things, I have picked up some real sort of like good quality sort of young players, if that makes sense. So this guy wasn't cheap at all, but 6'2" Brazilian, 73 defence, loads of potential. this guy Mauro Carvajal, pretty good all round stats, 16. He's a right back. No real sort of weakness. 55 passing, but he's only 16, right? This guy was a bit of the sort of star by Mauricio Miranda. Again, I don't think he's really shown any progression signs yet, but that's not unusual. He's getting some games for St Stevens, so he'll be getting plenty of XP hopefully. This guy was like probably the kind of star 17-year-old guy. He's 74, not really progressed or anything yet, but 84 for defence. Can play right back, left back, centre back, which is really pretty handy in this as well. Not that quick, but he can dribble. One thing I really love about the game is like obviously the progression side of things. So I'm going to put on the all-time coming progression. You'll see like some really like fun stats here. Now this guy back I've just picked up recently. I did pay a bit more for him, but look at his progression. This guy started as like 63, now he's up to 64. Some of his stat increases are insane. So he's plus 14 for passing, plus 12 for defending, which is not as relevant for left or right mid. But plus 14 for passing is incredible. Plus 6 for pace and dribbling. This guy, Catania, is becoming a useful card. I mean, this is a guy who I packed in my initial welcome starter pack. He looked pretty awful. He kind of was. He was like 52, 53 or something. He's now like nearly into like the greens, which is great. I mean, his pace is up a lot. He can dribble. He's not really great passing, but his defending's improving. He's quite physical, so his all-round progression is great. I did put him in the development centre. He's coming out at the end of the season, but I'll be looking to loan him out or use him somewhere because, you know, he's a plus 8 overall, so that is like incredible. Kurt Holzer's a plus 7. Minsol A. Sometimes he just comes up as A. It's quite funny. It's like Minsol A, and then he comes up in the actual game as A. It's like, they need to buy somebody who's called B to play beside him. But yeah, 65 pace, 59 passing, 74 defence. Again, he's a real aggressive like improver. If anybody again is sort of new to what happens at this point, once you get to 74 and you're about to go up to rare, slows down a wee bit to protect the upper scarcities. Next guy on the list here is an 18-year-old Borba. Again, bit of maybe a luxury buy, probably paid a bit too much, but yeah, I mean this guy's come from being a sort of 65. Got a bit carried away here. Yeah, $99. So we see, look at how progression works, you know. Guy paid $20 for him, got $99, but paid a bit extra because, you know, he's a plus 7 at 18 years old. Like, so, you know, the lowest sort of peak ages are usually 23, 24 or whatever. So he's a guy who could have a really high ceiling. He's plus 9 for dribbling, plus 6 for pace, plus 5 for passing, plus 6 for shooting, plus 6 for defending, plus 5 for physical. So he's went up in everything, which is really good. There's some other guys down here done pretty well. I mean, this guy didn't buy in. Like, he'd already progressed a bit before I bought him in and played a lot for him. Like, but he's basically come from like a 76, which is the bottom of the rare scarcity, and he's nearly up to being a legendary, which is quite cool. He is 24, so probably be sold soon because he's getting too old. I'm looking. That's just a joke. So I really enjoy that aspect of the game. There's no two ways about it. Like, it's really cool to see players progress. Obviously, with aging, some guys, like, their effective value goes down a wee bit because they've lost the season's utility. But you get guys who really like go up a lot. I mean, Kurt Holzer, this guy's pushing on being a legendary player, right? $110 I paid for this guy. He's still only 21. If he hits legendary soon, he's probably worth $400 or $500. So that just puts that into perspective, like how much that plus 7 is actually worth. Obviously, he's playing really well. Plus 18 for defending as well. Doesn't need to do any defending. Play him like left wing, but that just shows you, like, if you get one of these wee gems, some of them are floating about. It's just it's really good. So let's have a look at the update for season 4 and what's changing. I'll give you some thoughts on that. So here we have it, the season 4 economy update. More rewards, new player rarities for season 4. People have already probably heard some thoughts on this on the ramble, etc. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time over it. There's new rarity which is limited, which is 55 to 64. And there's an ultimate scarcity, which is 95 plus. I don't think I'll have any of them soon. Not unless somebody goes completely mad. The adjusted player distribution means that the overall drop from 62 to 57. So that just means that like a lot of the players, the average of the the overall for the players who are generated into the game goes down a wee bit. But there is going to be more players actually being generated, because obviously there's a lot of people buying clubs, and ice is getting quite saturated. But you can get stage players in our league below ice. The average age will increase while the longevity will decrease. So that means that like people could still play until they're 42, but they're more likely to retire about 35. So good. Prize pools update. Rewards up by 40% is amazing. Really good. League and cup balance and alike. There'll be some payouts for the sort of group phase of the league, which is really good. And there'll be a minimum overall requirements per division, which means that there'll be some forfeits. So like basically if you put a team in a division, you can't meet the minimum requirements, then you're going to forfeit. Which I think makes sense. It's got to be a competitive game, right? So you've got limited in here. You've got common and uncommon and the other scarcities. So these are new ones. Don't really mind any of this at all. It's good to have more certainty about, these sort of scarcities. Stole the name from Sorare as well. Reshaping player generation. This is the percentage of players generated. So obviously there's going to be a very low percentage of players generated which are going to be rare and legendary. So I think the overall aim here is to make sure that there's more lower rated players, that they're more affordable, people can come in and play the game, and that it protects the value of the upper card. So you've seen earlier, the reason I showed you this stuff on progression is you get a guy, he's like 55 or 60, goes bonkers, is up to an 80 or whatever, you want him to be worth a couple $100 because that's your star, like, sort of pull or buy or development, etc. Mentioned earlier the average age of retirement's coming down to 35, but if you get a guy who's 20, you're still getting 2 years probably in real life terms, because bear in mind the season's 5 or 6 weeks, so you're still got a long time. The average age of players generated is going up slightly, but again that's to make sure players retire. The model increase is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I don't know if the actual division system and stuff's here, but basically when you go up to the higher leagues, it makes a lot of sense. So like my bronze team, when they go up to silver, it's guaranteed 38,000 MFL for coming bottom, as long as I fill them out, make the requirements for that league. So that's like enough nearly to buy a rare player, which is incredible. Really pleased with that. So it makes sense to move up, and it gives value to your club license. The wardrobe is distributed. Oh, here it is here. Should have shut up. So ice is a bit less valuable now, but although it's less valuable, there are like obviously a new tier of player packs where you can pull guys at like 3,000 MFL. So you're playing in ice and you get up to the top 5, then you can win a player who's half decent, who will help your agency, help your team, or whatever. Stone obviously isn't brilliant, but you get up there, and it's kind of like what I thought, good old Scottish phrase, double dunter, can be construed as other things. Let's not go there. 5,000, and then you get 4,300 for coming bottom. So as long as you meet the requirements, you field a team, you don't field guys who are 50% energy and not getting rotated whatsoever, you're going to get that as well. So you're really getting like 9,300 minimum for winning, and then obviously you can win more. Obviously I'm up in bronze just now, so like if I get up through the top 2 or top 3 next season, guaranteed 38,000. But in silver it's 95,000 for first. So that's enough to buy 2 rare players. Like some of the rare players are worth $100, $200 and stuff. So that's a pretty good that's a really good reward. Obviously got a big agency and stuff, but I'm really stoked with that. I really want to get myself up here. I mean, like, 195,000, 410,000, a million, 100 million, 100 gazillion million, feel like Dr. Evil, 1 billion million trillion dollars. It's not dollars, it's MFL. So that'll buy you a lot of players. Anyway, that's all the legendaries, everything, which is all the sickos, but you never know. Maybe we'll get there at some point. Yeah, it's a better structure. And then we've got, there's a bit of a change in terms of the player packs, which are the reward packs as well. So those are coming down a wee bit. 325k for a legendary, which is chunky, but obviously up there you're winning a lot. 47,000 for a rare, come down a wee bit as well. 10k still for the greens and commons. 3,000 for a new limited, but you're guaranteed a minimum of 55, which is okay. And 600 for the shiters, as I call them. The uncommons, like there'll be loads of shiters. But it'll give you quite good. You pick up loads of 16, 17-year-old shiters and just hope that they actually get good. Active squad management. There'll be more forfeits. You can't, if you forfeit games, you won't be eligible for rewards. So you've got to be competitive. Makes a lot of sense, right? I really do like that a lot. Looking ahead to season 4, let's do it. So yeah, I mean, like, I think the economy update is brilliant. Like, the guys are obviously very switched on. They're looking at how many people are signing up, the structure of the leagues, the structure of the players that they're bringing into the game. There's a lot of players in the game just now. Nobody's retired yet. Players will start retiring at some point in the next season or two. So it's getting that healthy game economy where players are coming into the game, but also players are going out of the game. In the white paper, which I recommend you read if you're going to play, obviously go to MFL on the site. If you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see all of Bob Flynn's buys usually, or cans, or whoever's going mad, and then read the white papers down bottom right. So if you can get past Bob Flynn's buys, maniac, then you get to see the white paper. Read through that. It only took me about 15-20 minutes. Loads of interesting stuff about the modelling of players, prime age in terms of when they get to their best overall potential rating and all that sort of stuff. Loads and loads of fun stuff. So that's 20 minutes. I haven't shown you any content on the actual games. I haven't been doing much with packs and things as well, because it feels as if the overall agency's getting quite big now. I mean, I don't know if it gives you a head count, but yeah, I've got a lot of players now. It's kind of like inevitable, because that's just what ends up happening on these things. It doesn't actually tell you how many players I've got, but yeah, if you just kind of scroll down, you're like, yeah, I've got a lot of players. Yeah, there's more. Yeah, there's more. I should just really stop buying players now at this stage. But somebody lists a wonder kid. He's a Brazilian. He's under $100. I just can't resist it. It's just this. I've got a problem. I just admitted that on YouTube. I do have a problem with buying virtual players who are 16 and 17 who are potential wonder kids. So on that note, I think we'll end. Hope everyone enjoyed the wee update. If you've enjoyed this video, if you do fancy playing a bit of MFL, please do message me, have a chat about it. Do have a sign up link as well, which means you get a free player when you buy your sort of club and your player pack, and I get a free player as well. Won't be a great player. Could be actually, you could get very, very, very lucky, but it's mostly uncommon guys down the bottom worth a few dollars. But showed you earlier with Catania, he was a guy who I got in my very first pack, which is a cheapo pack, and now he's up to 61. He's a +8. So who knows what his potential actually is. Still only 22. Could become a very, very useful card. Might get up into the uncommons and the rares or whatever. You don't know. Just could be actually pretty good, even though they come out as 53. So there we go. Message me if you need anything. I'm gonna stop doing the video now because it's the end and I don't know what you say. So anyways, if you're playing on MFL, we end in the customary fashion in the channel. Good luck and go fuck.